Welcome to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this one because we're looking at something that literally defines the success of every major business out there. We're talking about supply chain management. But listen, we aren't just going to look at dry theories today. Oh no, we're going on a cinematic quest. I want you to imagine a highly anticipated package. Maybe it's a critical medical device or, perhaps it's that cutting-edge tech gadget you've been waiting months for. We are going to follow our guide and operations expert named Logie as he escorts this package through the entire supply chain journey just to ensure it arrives flawlessly. Okay, let's jump right in with a fundamental truth. A customer does not judge a supply chain by its strategy. The customer judges it by whether the right order arrives correctly. Think about it for a second. When you buy something online, you really don't care how brilliant a company's global sourcing network is or how sophisticated their factory robotics are, right? You only care about what happens at your front door. If that package is late, if it's broken, or if it's missing pieces, well, the entire multi-million-dollar strategy has basically failed in your eyes. At the end of the day, execution is everything. So what exactly is our hero Logie trying to achieve here? Well, he's working off the ultimate checklist, the holy grail of logistics known as the perfect order. And it is not just about moving a box from point A to point B. It actually demands 8 specific rights: the right product, the right quantity, the right place, the right time, the right condition, the right cost, the right documentation, and of course, getting it to the right customer. If a company can hit all 8 of these consistently, boom, they achieve true customer service excellence. This is the treasure we're trying to secure on this journey. To pull off that perfect order, Logie's map for this quest relies on the SCOR model. SCOR stands for Supply Chain Operations Research, and what it does is break the entire universe of a supply chain down into 5 distinct realms that we have to navigate. We've got plan, source, make, deliver, and return. It maps the whole shebang, from the supplier's supplier all the way down to the customer's customer. Every single step our package takes is going to fall into one of these 5 realms. So our story begins in Realm 1. Imagine Logie stepping into the planning control room. This is the brain center. The entire foundation of our package's journey gets established right here, long before any physical movement actually happens. In this room, Logie isn't touching boxes. He's balancing data. He's staring at demand forecasts, he's checking current inventory levels, and he's reviewing manufacturing capacity. What's Logie's first move? Well, first, he assesses the supply resources, basically asking, what do we currently have? Second, he aggregates the demand. What are the customers actually asking for? From there, he plans the inventory and plans the capacity to bridge that gap. Because here's the thing. If Logie makes a mistake right here in the control room, the supply chain simply cannot keep its delivery promise. A bad plan literally equals a broken promise at the delivery door. Once that master plan is completely locked in, Logie hits the road to Realm 2, Source. He leaves the control room and goes out to visit the suppliers. Logie knows, for a fact, that a perfect order requires flawless raw materials. If you build a product with substandard components, it's inevitably going to fail that right condition test for the customer. So Logie is out there to evaluate, select, and manage the vendors who provide the actual building blocks of our package. And how exactly does he evaluate them? By checking their vital signs using some very specific key performance indicators. He's definitely not just crossing his fingers and hoping they do a good job. He's digging in. He wants to see formalized quality documentation. He's looking for standard deviations and process controls that prove they actually prevent defects rather than just detecting them after they've already happened. He measures their lead time reliability, and he checks for major industry certifications like ISO 9001. Logie is making absolutely sure that the quality is sustainable. All right, with those perfect raw materials secured, we step right into Realm 3, Make. The materials hit the factory floor, and Logie is watching like a hawk as our highly anticipated package finally takes its physical form. This is where all the manufacturing, testing, and packaging goes down. The laser focus here is on process timing, capacity discipline, and really rigorous quality control to ensure this transformation is flawless. Now, this brings up a classic financial dilemma. Logie has to constantly balance appraisal costs, which is the cost of testing, measuring, and monitoring quality, against internal failure costs. And internal failure costs are the massive financial hit of having to rework a defective item or just scrapping it entirely. So Logie strategically invests upfront in those appraisal and testing costs. Why? Because catching a defect right now on the line is exponentially cheaper than letting a bad product delay the entire timeline, or worst case scenario, actually shipping it to the customer. Okay, the product is made, it's totally perfect, and now our package reaches the true climax of the journey. Realm 4, Deliver. We are talking about the fast-paced, high-stakes environment of the warehouse and the logistics transport hub. This is where the orders are managed, products are picked and packed, and shipments are finally dispatched. And let me tell you, precise coordination here is absolutely crucial. Standing out there on the loading dock, Logi faces a really critical decision. Does he choose road or rail transport? It's highly cost-effective and very steady. Or does he opt for air or multimodal transport, which gives you high speed and much better protection for delicate conditions? He has to instantly weigh cost against speed and reliability. But because our package is super urgent and highly anticipated, he goes ahead and selects the faster route. But wait, suddenly, a massive red alert flashes across Logi's tracking dashboard. A major weather event has just grounded the original flight path. We've got an unexpected risk event, and the clock is ticking. Because, in supply chain, if something can go wrong with the weather, it absolutely will. Suddenly, the entire perfect order checklist, specifically the right time and right condition, is severely threatened. So what happens now? How does Logi protect that customer service promise when everything seems to be going wrong? Well, this is exactly where true supply chain excellence shines. Logista doesn't panic. He pivots. He immediately rolls out dynamic response tactics. First, he adjusts the transportation routing, diverting our package over to an alternate multimodal hub. Then, he shifts the priority within the rapid transfer cross-docking warehouse to make sure it gets loaded absolutely first. And finally, he dynamically coordinates with the final mile delivery team to make up for that lost time. Total agility saves the day. Now, our package is almost to the finish line, but Logi is a total pro, which means he's already completely prepared for Realm 5, return. Because let's imagine a parallel scenario where, say, a customer receives the wrong size. Logi knows that customer service doesn't just end when the box is dropped off. Managing reverse logistics gracefully is a true hallmark of an elite supply chain. And handling returns is not a free-for-all, it's a highly structured process. It starts with securing return authorization, then inspecting and verifying the item once it actually comes back. Next is determining its disposition, basically asking, do we repair this, scrap it, or restock it? And finally, issuing a really swift replacement or refund. Executing a responsible return like this can actually turn a negative customer experience into a solid foundation for future loyalty. But let's get back to our main quest. Thanks to Logi's awesome dynamic routing, our highly anticipated package arrives right at the final doorstep. The customer eagerly unboxes it. They check the product. It is exactly what they wanted. The quantity is spot on. It arrived on time in perfect condition with all the correct documentation. Logi's quest is a massive success. The perfect order has officially been achieved. So, the crucial point here is, how does this incredible, on-the-ground cinematic victory actually translate into the language that the executives in the boardroom care about? Well, it all connects right back to the SCOR Level 1 strategic metrics. This is the big executive dashboard. Let's break down exactly how Logi's success translates upward. The attribute of supply chain reliability is directly measured by the metric of perfect order fulfillment. Logi completely nailed that. Then, the attribute of responsiveness is measured by order fulfillment cycle time. By pivoting so fast during that weather delay, Logi kept the cycle time down. All of that hard work across plan, source, make, and deliver directly drives these high-level financial and performance metrics that really dictate market competitiveness. Which leaves us with this final, truly powerful thought to take away from our explainer today. A perfect order isn't just magically created at the delivery door. No way! It is meticulously, intentionally built across every single SCOR process. You literally must plan clearly, source reliably, make correctly, deliver precisely, and return responsibly. So I'm going to leave you with this question. When you look at your own organization's operations, where is your absolute weakest link in this chain, and what are you going to do to fix it? Thank you so much for exploring with me today.